This video is for modifying your camera in front of your drone, the 2.0, to angle it down. These are some of the tools that you would need. A glue that is called, ironically enough, plastic surgery, utility knife, scotch tape or blue tape, whichever, and a razor blade. Okay, what you're going to need to do is that on the underside of the camera, if you can see this part here, this foam right here is where you're going to trim it and cut it. So what you need to do is cut this foam out, and this part of this plastic would then be level with this support right here. So once you trim up the foam, it will angle this camera downward just enough so that way you'll be able to get better video as you're flying. Now this is the view from the upper part of the camera. This ribbon over here is what you got to be careful with, that you don't bring up the razor blade all the way up to that and accidentally cut it. What I do is when I trim the foam, I only trim it to about this depth. So when I start the cutting of the foam underneath here, I only cut it up to about right here, so that way I do not bring the razor blade to cut onto this ribbon. Okay, before you start cutting the foam, you need to put the utility knife to go underneath the base of this plastic for the camera. That's where they have the double face tape that holds the camera, and you're going to need to run your utility knife under there, again not going so high that you will cut this ribbon right here. So my suggestion is just slide the utility knife up to about right here. You then should be able to lift up the camera away from the foam. Okay, I was able to slide the utility knife underneath the camera. As you can see, you can now lift it up where there's double face tape in there. Now keep the top part of it attached to the foam. What you're going to do is you're going to trim off some of this foam right here, and again just cutting about probably 1/16 of an inch or so, and then after that's cut, I will show you how that looks. Okay, as you can see, I've trimmed off some of the foam. Again, being careful not to go too high up that you will cut the ribbon. So then just have to take this piece of foam out, and now that that's gone, as you can see, when I glue it back on, that camera is now going to rest on an angle to where this part here will be in line with this part here, which is the side brace. Let me just show you how that would look. There you go. So now when you glue it on with that plastic surgery, it will now be on the angle that's approximately about 5 degrees or less. Again, you know, taking out little by little is better than taking a whole chunk, because you can't put the foam back in there. And you just merely put some 2 dabs of glue there, you know, and hold it down with the scotch tape, in which I'll show you how that's put on there. Okay, as you can see, I have glued it back, resting on the foam that I cut off of there, and you can see that the side brace is now almost equal to the camera base, and you can see the angle from here to here that is tilted downward. And then the scotch tape, temporarily I have placed it on the plastic base, pull it taut, and taped it on the bottom bracing of the camera. And that's about it. Just let it sit overnight and you should be good to go. Now, there is one part that you still need to do, and that is the trimming of the foam on the outdoor hull. Okay, as you can see, this is the outdoor hull, to which we have to trim off some of the foam in the front of this outdoor hull. Reason being is that since we tilted the camera downward, we're now going to be able to see in our view, line of sight, this part of the foam. And just to be safe, you know, and what I do is I trim off both sides of this with the razor blade. You know, just making them cutting it uniformly, so they look pretty aesthetically pleasing. So basically, I just put the utility knife right about here to where I will cut it on an angle, doing sawing motion. Make sure that your utility knife is sharp so you can cut it easily, and then just trim it on the bottom, same line, and you should be able to then peel it off of there, and then finish it up by trimming a little more. So that's basically it. You cut it on both sides, make them equal distance, and I'll show you the finished product. As you can see, I trimmed off the foam on both sides, right there and right here. So, you know, making sure that they're almost equal, and then that way it will not show up on your field of view. Okay, as you can see now, we're going to put the outdoor hull after it's been trimmed, and we should not see the foam on our field of view. So that's it. I hope you enjoy it, and it's time to fly. And please make your comments. Thanks for watching.